My name is Shini Oyewole, and I'm a digital artist. I've been one for 15 years now, and truth be told, I've been an artist, period, since I was 6 years old. And as the years went by, and I got a bit older, I went abroad. I studied in New York City at a school called School of Visual Arts, where I learned that you can do all the illustrations you love digitally. And ever since I received this iPad, I've been loving it each and every day. And I'm going to make something, and just to show you a bit of an example of how it works. See, the difference between illustrating on an iPad and illustrating on paper or on a canvas is that on a canvas, once you make that mistake, while it's good to just work from the mistake, on the iPad you can actually make the mistake and go back. For example, let's say I make one mark that isn't supposed to be there. Thankfully, I can go back and erase without wasting any rubber or wasting any lead. Plus, it saves up a lot of paper. And honestly, I also learned that you can actually make a living out of this, which I've been doing for, like I say, 15 years now. And it's been very good for me. It's been very, very good for me. And I love each and every day of it. I've gotten so many clients, and I've had so much fun. And people have loved my work for all these years. Honestly, when I first started illustrating, I got the inspiration from my father, who graduated from the same school I did, only we were 30 years apart. And when I saw him draw, I'm like, Dad, how do you do it? How do you do all these illustrations? He told me that once I have to, for one thing, I have to visualize what I need to do. I have to visualize the work that I want before I put it on paper or put it on canvas, and just make it plain. It's always said, write your vision and make it plain. So in a way, my illustration is me writing the vision I like to see and making it so. And I've been putting out exhibitions back in New York for, say, about 6 years. About 6 years. Be it during school or long after school. And if there's one thing I've learned, is that you never stop learning. Also, let's talk about the apps. Let's talk about the apps that you can use to illustrate these visions that you have. For example, if you're using, say, an iPad, you can go to the iTunes store and download the Adobe Illustrator or Adobe Photoshop. All of them are free, and it's very helpful for everything you need to do for editing all your pictures. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and you can create amazing pictures from them. I mean, I've been enjoying it each and every day. The kind of work I do is character designs and logo designs, and they've been serving me very well. I've gotten many clients who wanted, let's say, a design of a lion, or just a lion's head, and the words or the text that they want, they'll put it there later, but someone's going to call in and say, hey Shini, I want a design of a logo. I want a design of a lion. And I say how much it's going to cost and how long it's going to cost. I mean, how long it's going to take. Because you can't just say, I'll do it right away. Because right away can turn into 3 days later. And no client wants that. So you have to be very specific as to how long this illustration is going to take. Also, these apps can serve as tools for animation as well. For example, I've done some animations for a gaming company, like I'd say about 2 years ago. Yes, 2 years ago. Someone called me up and asked me, hey, I'd like some animations for my gaming company. And of course, how could I refuse? Like an opportunity to make some cool cartoons for video games. I believe the gaming company is called Malia. They've gone on to create awesome games. You should definitely check them out. They serve mostly on mobile games, and they've been doing well ever since. And I'm very proud to have worked with them in the past. As I've said before, I've been illustrating since I was 6 years old. Ever since I've been watching TV, I'm like, how do I create these things? I like to say that my favorite artists are Al Hirschfeld, Charles Schulz, Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and many, many more. Those are just 4 of my favorites. They've done plenty of work. Sadly, 3 of them aren't around anymore. But the impacts that they've left will live on forever. And the one thing I've learned from them is that you can make all these great illustrations. You can design all of these characters, but if there's no story behind them, then they might as well be just drawings. For example, let's use Lion King, only because I'm designing a lion right now. Lion King is a very beautiful animated film, but let's be honest, if there was no story behind it, then it'll just be a series of drawings. There's got to be a story behind it. And for example, one of the morals is that, yeah, the past hurts, but you can either run from it or learn from it. I mean, that's one moral that I live through every day. There's so many more illustrations that I take inspiration from that there are too many to count. But I'd like to think that the work I do will leave an impact to many people, many future digital artists who are out there. And I'd like to stress that before you start illustrating with an iPad or an Android or whatever tablet you have, you should start with paper, because just to get in the flow of it. And I'll admit that I still use paper because the work I do on the iPad is more like a final work. Even though, true, I can still erase and re-edit and everything, but I need to start on paper to know what I'm going to draw to get the story right. I mean, you still need to write. You still need to have a good understanding of the story you're going to tell. I mean, you need to know the ending and the beginning before you can think of the middle, before you can interest everyone with the middle. You know, I'm thinking back when I was back in the US, when I first discovered that I could illustrate with anything digital. I mean, my mind just went pfft, because I was thinking to myself, all these wasted years and all this wasted paper. And a lot of people were very impressed. Of course, there will always be naysayers who are like, oh, come on, there's no way you can make money out of this. But you can either tell them that, no, you're wrong, Or you can just show them. You can just show them, let them say what they want, and let your drawings do the work. And that is one advice I'd like to pass on to you, is that whoever is out there saying that this can't be done, just rather you can either tell them that it can be done, or you can show them that it can be done, because actions speak louder than words. And in this case, drawings can speak louder than words too. For example, by drawing a lion, I like to say I represent bravery, because lions are brave. And it's also important that you sign your work. I can't tell you the number of times I've accidentally forgotten to sign my work. Once that is done, it is ready for the public. So once again, my name is Sheni Oyewole, and I am proud to be a digital artist. And if anyone out there wants to be a digital artist, you should be proud of that too.